I'd like to kindly ask for your full attention as we welcome tonight's dinner sponsor. And after her presentation, we'll break for dinner. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Vice President and General Manager of Global Strike for the Boeing Military Aircraft Division of the Boeing Company. In this role, she is responsible for the execution and growth of the FA-18EF Super Hornet, the EA-18G Growler, the F-15 Strike Eagle, as well as the direct attack and cruise missile systems weapons portfolios. Please welcome Vice President Debbie Rube.
Thank you, Linda, for that very kind introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is really my distinct honor this evening to represent the Boeing Company as we salute those who embrace science, technology, engineering, and math fields, and those who have dedicated their professional lives to the defense of our nation. As Boeing embarks on the 100th year, we're very proud to have spent our first century working hand in hand with so many visionary scientists, engineers, and others from defense, government, and commercial industries. If we look back during World War II alone, we designed and built more than 31,000 aircraft just down the freeway in Long Beach. In fact, one of those original Rosie the Riveters just retired this last year at the nice age of 95. She'd been on our production line that long. A tremendous legacy of performance and of commitment by her, who had seen so much. If we go up the coast into El Segundo, we operate the world's largest satellite factory. And in fact, it's where the world's first geocommunications satellite was built over 50 years ago. And on a personal note, I'm especially humbled to be here because this is home to me. I grew up in Southern California, the daughter of an Air Force colonel, Annapolis graduate. He was a man who was an engineer. He was a man who was a program manager. And it was he who instilled in me my patriotism, my commitment to this nation and to all that it entails. But like many of the students in the room at this event and here this evening, I was inspired to pursue a career in STEM, really at a time, like Linda, when many weren't going down that path. And I'll tell you, after 35 years with Boeing, I've had the privilege of working on programs from nuclear missiles to bombs to fighter aircraft. And I don't think I could have ever imagined having had those experiences or those opportunities had I gone in a different direction. But you don't have to just take it from me. I'd like you to hear from some of Boeing's early career engineers and what inspires them each and every day.
I'm Farah, and I make satellites smarter.
I'm Madeline, and I build intelligent devices.
I'm Anastasia, and I make airplane interiors better.
I'm Adam, and I design the airplanes of the future.
I'm Anna, and I get to break things.
When I was growing up, I loved to collect little things like gadgets and widgets.
I myself, dream of being an astronaut and getting to, see firsthand what it's like to be in space.
I know I had an astronaut helmet that I made out of a cardboard box that I wore to an age that you certainly shouldn't have been wearing a cardboard box on your head.
Once I had all of the pieces I felt like I needed, I would start to create this machine. Going through that process, watching everything work together, and always looking for that next piece that I could add in there to make it move a little further or have an extra step. I love doing that.
I'm in research and development at Boeing, which means we're not working on the products that are in the air today, and we're not even working on the products that are the next ones off the lines. We're looking 20 and 30 years in the future.
The airplane, as it's designed, is great. But my team goes in and we find out how we can make it better.
I'm a vehicle engineer, so I get to work with the technicians actually building the satellites on the floor, and I get to be kind of an engineering representative for them.
So my role is making sure that that satellite that is launched into space is ready for that launch.
I have fun doing what I do because I get to see things from the design point, which, it's a lot of computer work and simulations, but I also get to go to a lab and test materials and break parts just to, make sure we're doing the right thing when we design the airplane.
20 years from now, I might be able to point to something and say, hey, that was my idea at the very beginning.
Everything that we use on a daily basis, somehow it's connected to engineering.
And I don't think we realize it really how much of a difference launching something into space, satellite can change our world.
What you actually don't see when you're using your phone, you have Twitter, Facebook, all these tools that we use every day are possible because of satellites.
My favorite thing is getting to go to the launch site and getting to see what I've helped build assembled onto the rocket.
In 100 years, we'll fly to Italy for lunch, turn around and come back.
We'll travel to the moon to visit our families.
I think in 100 years, we'll fly to a black hole to discover what's on the other side.
As we approach our centennial next July, we're committed at Boeing to ensuring that our second century is as successful as the first. But we really recognize that in order to do that, we have to be a truly global company. And that global quest is dependent upon the merger of diverse ideas and perspectives, experiences, while embracing our dual missions of protecting our nation and moving people around the globe. The quest can only be met with the people we heard from just a moment ago having the very best engineers and scientists and technologists all working on a common problem. That's why our continued support of HENAC, the conference, and organization like the Great Minds in STEM is so important to us. It's not just about the future success of companies like Boeing or others here today, but it's important for our nation. All of tonight's honorees have a common theme, and that is their passion for science, for technology, for solving problems that we have in engineering, and applying that expertise to service of our country. As we reflect upon our nation's historical accomplishments and consider some of the defense and space program's advancements that shape our lives today. So for example, as we saw in the video, the Global Positioning System. We're connected via cell phones. For those of us who like to get lost, we're connected on MapQuest and other functions. That started with the military. We reflect on space exploration. You think of things that go back to Apollo, like food preparations, Tang, and things of that nature. We think about flame retardant gear for our firefighters, for our children. And then, of course, the most obvious one is the internet, allowing global connectivity. So we're here today and this weekend in a room with lots of brilliant minds. Who of you will envision the next great idea that will affect our life so positively in the next century? Or who will save a soldier's life on the battlefield due to the vision and to a great new idea? To the students and scholars in the room, I'm confident that you'll be inspired this evening by the honorees. Just as they have done, I hope you too will consider a job in service to our nation. To tonight's honorees, my sincerest thanks for your amazing accomplishments, for your service to our nation, for keeping our way of life free. The creativity and vision that you put in place and your dedication to serving my country, our country, inspires me and inspires those at Boeing who support you as we strive each and every day to build something better. My thanks and congratulations to the honorees, and God bless.